All right, we'll be back in session. The only action as a result of exec is I would entertain a motion to advertise for one dispatcher position and one internal assistant of director of communications.
Move it.
Motion from Feldheim. Second from Sutton. Any questions on that motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. One dispatcher position and one we're going to advertise internally for an assistant direct communications.
I think I better go get some.
Yeah, since we didn't get it on that one.
Okay, we'll add it if we need to at the end. All right, next on the agenda we've got Judy Dosh with maintenance to discuss courthouse security, soundproofing the jail, and discuss the IT equipment room. Judy, are you here?
Yeah.
Come on down. How's it going? Hi, Paul.
Morning. Morning.
Which one you want to tackle first? Security? Soundproofing?
Let's do the soundproofing. Get
Okay.
that taken care of. We have to do some more soundproofing up on the first floor. Would be in the conference rooms and the visitation areas and out in the lobby and into the nurse's office. And that quote comes to $10,364.20 from Power Sound.
And you already got your, are they the only ones that do it?
Who's the quote with? Power Sound.
Any questions on that?
What's that involve doing? For 10,000, what are they doing? I mean,
Oh,
what is that?
they make the soundproofing panels and then they install them in the areas that I had. In the conference rooms and the visitation area and out in the lobby. It's really noisy. The echoes are really bad. This was the only quote? Mm-hmm.
Sole provider in the area?
Yep.
All right, any questions? Entertain a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Moved by Sutton,
Second.
second from Fishback. Any questions on the soundproofing? All in favor?
Is that due to the jail renovation, this change, all this?
Yes. Because we got all blocks and solid floors. And we were hoping that, you know, by the time we got the tables and all the chairs, you know, the leather chairs and stuff in there, that would take care of some. But we've had, you know, it's really echoey and noisy, and so.
Was there any provisions when done with the architect to take care of this when that
Well,
was done?
No, because they figured if you've got the walls filled with sand, they thought that would take care of some of it, and it really didn't. Because your ceiling's hard, your floor hard, you know, the floor is hard and the walls are blocked. And
big thing on this part was we have attorney-client rooms side by side and you can hear in between them. That's I think the biggest problem with this one.
All right, any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Where do you want to go next?
IT.
Okay, IT equipment room?
Yep. You know, we have visited on different things on how to take care of the heat situation when the air conditioner goes down for Paul's server room. We actually, you know, we had said that we would talk with an architect and a mechanical engineer to try to get a figure of what it would be to get a refrigeration unit in. We did that. That comes at well over $300,000. That's a lot.
Soundproofing is cheap.
Yep.
And what's the next option?
So we talked that if all we could do is heat out, get the heat out by exhausting the air, you know, when we're down, and putting in just like a split unit. I got quotes on what that would cost, and I've got them right here.
Okay,
So,
let's hear them.
okay,
It's a couple bucks cheaper.
it's a little bit cheaper, yeah.
They're gonna sound cheaper because you started with the 300,000.
Well, I had to-
You always do that.
I had to
We're like-
tell you. I had to tell you what that cost.
We had the same reaction at that number.
Yeah.
Gonna make 200,000 sound cheap.
Yeah, right.
We have one from Custom Sheet Metal, And he's included the electrical and plumbing, and he was $22,530, and that's from Customs.
Okay.
Then Woodman's Refrigeration. And he's just doing material and labor. He's got here electrical wiring is not included. That comes in at $26,250. And then we have an LTK heating here in Aberdeen. And he includes just labor, material, plumbing, and the excise tax, of course. And his was $23,214.33.
The first one included everything?
Yep, the excise tax, electrical, and the plumbing, yep.
That makes
Yep.
more sense.
And then we also get a 3-ton mini split unit, and then all the duct work to get us, because we're gonna tie it into, the basement air handler, and
Move
we're
it out that way.
tying it into our unit and putting it out, so.
That's our biggest problem, is if the air goes out, we're creating heat faster than we can get it out of that room. So once we get to that situation, we can't cool it down. So if we can get the hot air out with the mini split, we can keep it operable until the air is fixed again.
And when they look at it, they're confident that the units that they have will make the difference, getting that exhaust, the combination of that in the unit?
The exhausting out of the hot air, that's what our problem is now, is
How-
exhausting that hot air
How
out.
far are they gonna have to get it outside?
They're
Bring it up?
actually gonna go right across the hallway, into the elevator room there, and then they can tie on to the ductwork that's in there, and it's already all the way up to the ceiling.
Okay. Questions?
Will there be some kind of a sensor that's
Yeah.
gonna
Mhm.
automatically sense when this has to go into operation?
And we already have a heat sensor in the room in our
Okay.
system.
Yep.
Makes sense to me that the first one was probably better.
I'll make a motion to approve the custom sheet metal quote.
I'll second it.
Motion from Sutton, second from Hanson. Any other questions or concerns? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed nay. Motion carries. We're moving on up. We started down here. Now let's get into security.
Okay. The notice will be coming out in the paper tomorrow, is that right, Beth? Yep. So I've been working on, the specs for the glass, and Paul's been working on the fob stuff. So, I just wanna touch base on a couple of things on our document pass-through. I wanna know what actually height that you guys want this up off of the counter. You know, I actually measured the,
Right now we're at 1, right?
Social Security's office, and theirs was 1 3/4 inches. But as you come in, you know, you're screened.
Yeah.
So I just need that directive from you guys. And then I was going to say, when we had talked, you know, we were trying to save money and all that kind of stuff. And for the ADA portion of it, Paul was going to put the intercoms in, so that's something needed help, because that'd be at ADA height. The intercoms, you know, they could bring them in and help them that way.
Right now we had originally talked about 1 inch, right?
Yes.
And is that, I mean, for a gun to go under there or something, how high? I mean, we're good with 1.
We're good with 1 inch, yes.
Are we good at 2? No?
2 is,
Are we good at 1 1/4? I mean, where do you, is 1 the best, or
You have
can
a
we go a
gun
little
on you.
higher and still be good? I know you guys can tell me.
Yes.
But 1 is what you would recommend for security.
At 2, you could,
yeah.
1, you can set it on the counter and turn it. 2, you could point it,
Okay.
you know, I mean, 1, they'll still be able to, you could still set it there and direct it. Now we're giving them instructions, but
Yeah. Okay. So any questions on that? Concerns? 1 inch higher?
I would like it higher for our office.
How high do you need?
I'd like 2, but I would settle for the 1 3/4.
And is that for
access to the public.
For what, the more sheets?
Clipboards and things like that for, handicapped people that can't reach up on the counter to fill out an application for a ballot or registration form.
Can you bring the handicapped in? And like now when they vote, they don't vote out there, do they?
No, this is different from voting.
So when they fill out papers, can they come, I mean, a handicapped person, can they come in?
You're talking for registration? Voter registration, they
Just
don't...
regular stuff, you know, just routine business.
Question? Comment?
Where does your staff feel safe? They feel safe with the 2-inch in, or?
Or the 1 3/4, yeah.
Well, if the counters aren't gonna be lowered to wheelchair accessible,
No,
then how are you gonna serve somebody in a wheelchair with the 1.5 inch or 1 3/4 inch pole? Won't they have to come in anyway? Isn't that the whole point of the intercom system?
I suppose.
What if we had some like, clipboard
they haven't
hanging
done in
there
their
or something?
wheelchair, we're done.
Take them off? Is that what you'd mentioned? Somebody had mentioned that.
To give you an idea,
They're not
what we-
going to, Larry.
What we do now is like concealed weapons permits, because we've got so many different ones. We've color coded them and we hang them out in the hallway where people come in, and the clipboard is about 3/4 of an inch. It's a real simple one. If you want to see it, they fill it out and then they give it to us, which when we get the glass, they'll be able to slide underneath for us. So,
We just got some new clipboards at
They're
the
just-
office, and they're not like the old-fashioned metal
No.
ones. They're
no, I can
small.
get one and bring it over.
They
so
flip
look
up
at
and-
it.
If it's under a 1 inch?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, they're like half an
you know,
inch.
if you want, I can get it, or have them come over right now with it if you want. And you can measure it, look at it.
That
Go
probably
all
wouldn't
over
be
the
bad.
office.
Multiple papers you could put in at sections, so that would, you know,
Yeah, we'll have 2 separate areas for us. I don't know how many you're looking at for underneath. You know, it's gonna be this
4,
wide.
wasn't it? Or
Is there 4 spots at
remember.
the auditors?
Yeah.
I think if we're going through the expense of providing security, we should keep it consistent and keep it at the recommended 1 inch from a safety standpoint, I know.
Okay. Any other comments on that? Anybody opposed to keeping the 1 inch? All right, why don't you guys roll with the 1 inch?
Okay.
And then what was the other thing you asked about?
That was it, one in, for the,
Okay, and then we'll look at alternatives to make your life a little easier as far as different clipboards or how we're gonna do that. Yes?
Yeah, and then also, if you're all done with all that, you know, we had the meeting last week when the judge came in and we looked at certain, were you gonna sign a couple commissioners and we have our little group together so we can, you know, 'cause it's gonna happen and things we're gonna look at for the new security?
Yeah,
Okay, we question.
we walked over and kinda looked at it this morning, and we'll probably do that again when we're done here. And maybe, if you don't mind, Larry, and maybe you guys could talk a little bit about when we go over there. Just to, I couldn't remember, and I asked Tom what, if it was the north or the south wall where we were talking about bringing the glass across.
I think there's a couple options, and Judy has another one. The
Oh,
problem
okay.
here is, you know, you gotta make a decision if you're gonna decide to go that direction in some way quick, because that grant has to be written and submitted real, you know, the next...
by June 1, I have to have that grant in.
Okay. See, our concern is the same as what we talked about last week, is, yeah, we could get the courthouse set up for it, but we just don't have the money for the people. I mean, where are we gonna find that money?
That's right. You know, as you look at it, physically, you could configure the building in a way that will allow for this without spending a huge amount of money, but then you gotta man it, and that's where the expense comes in.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there was anything we were gonna look at.
What portion of this grant, how much is the grant? Is there-
The grant is for the whole state of South Dakota, it's like $250,000.
So everybody has an opportunity at that?
Yes.
That's how it's awarded?
Yes.
Typically, we get 8 to 11,000.
Yeah. Actually, the last time we did it, which was a couple of years ago, they funded it totally. Remember that
Well,
one?
it depends on the cost of the project.
Yeah, and the cost of the project, most definitely, and how many requests they get out there.
Is there any kind of a ballpark of what one of these metal detectors cost, or just the basic equipment?
We have
We have the metal detector.
We have the magnetometer
Okay.
and we have an x-ray machine right now.
It's up on the 3rd floor right now.
We were fortunate enough for the US Marshals and the FBI to do
And that would come out of there down to that area, is what the thought is?
I guess that's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what they're,
So if we already have the stuff, does the grant take that into consideration? If we already have the equipment, is the grant gonna,
well, the
That
grant,
paid for the glass
the grant was
and
gonna
the
pay
walls.
for the glass, you know, the glass and that kind of stuff, and your doors and so, and the fobbing, because we're gonna have the fob. So,
Did you give a little thought to how many we figured we'd need for that? Would we station 2 there, or
Well,
3?
it would be something that we'd have to get what the court's going on. If, you know, I think the flow is gonna be like from 7:30 or 7 until 9 in the morning, and probably from 10:30 till 1:30, the noon hour, and then of course 5, they'll just, most people will be exiting, but then again, you're gonna have, where you're gonna have court trials, where you're gonna have jury duty, a lot more people come in, so you're probably looking at 4 part-time or full-time and then some part-time help to have that area where it's gonna be high influx of people from the 7 till 9 o'clock maybe, and then through the noon hour.
Because we figured you'd always need somebody there.
Yeah.
You're
Oh, yeah.
just saying when
Yeah.
the busiest.
When the busy, you know, and I can,
To keep it.
I gotta call in the Millstead down in Minnehaha County to see what exactly they have, what they do, so.
Because I know it's tough with that deadline coming up, but it's kind of one of those things, if we can't dedicate the personnel, there's really no need asking for the money to try to configure it. So,
yeah, that's why I say I need direction.
yeah,
I think
We can't
if we
proceed.
can't, then we need to look at alternatives.
yeah.
You know, and if we just get a little committee together, a couple of you guys and us, and sit down and see what our alternatives are, would work.
Is there any meeting scheduled this week for security? Have we, anything, or we
No, you
decided?
just tell me if you want
Okay.
the meeting this week and I'll get something scheduled.
Okay. Probably better do that.
Okay,
I'm gonna be on Thursday, Friday, though.
yep, so it'd have to be tomorrow.
Does anybody else want to sit in on that? I've said it in a few, I can do it again, or if somebody else wants to get up to speed on it.
Do you want to set it in the morning, you guys?
That's fine. I have an afternoon slot, so.
Anybody available tomorrow?
Yeah, make it work.
We'll get 2 commissioners there. We'll talk
Okay.
about it and make sure we have 2. What time?
What time?
That's for you guys.
Yeah, for you guys.
You tell us and we'll be there. 9 o'clock?
Yep, 9's fine.
SA conference room?
Yep,
You use your conference room?
Okay,
yep.
got it. We'll discuss that here and find 2 people. Anything else? Any other questions? All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You didn't need anything else on that courthouse, just the
Just this,
measurement?
yep.
Okay.
And I need you guys to verify what you really wanted.
Okay, that brings us to the end of the regular agenda. What's that?
Here's Carmen, Doug.
Okay.
I'd like to request an executive session to discuss labor negotiations.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
So moved.
Moved by Sutton,
Second.
seconded by Fishback. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We'll be in exec for labor negotiation.
Negotiation.
Labor.
Labor.
Oh,
How long
Well,
can
we've
we
had some
drag
water
it out? All right, no action as a result of exec. Let's go to Maxine's list.
all right. Minutes from, May 1st joint and May 2nd general.
Move.
Moved by Fishback,
Second.
second by Feldheim. Any corrections? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Claims.
Move.
Moved by Feldheim,
Second.
second by Hanson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
The last township board came in for West Rondell.
Move.
Moved by
Second.
Sutton, seconded by Hanson, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Sheriff report?
Move it.
Moved by Fishback,
Second.
seconded by Feldheim. Any questions on the sheriff's report? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Auditor's report of accounts?
Move.
Moved by
Second.
Sutton, seconded by Hanson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
There's a joint cooperative agreement between Brown County Sheriff's Office and Groton PD.
Move it.
Moved by Hanson,
Second.
seconded by Fishback. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Abatements.
Move.
Moved by Feldheim,
Second.
seconded by Sutton. Any questions on that? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Lottery applications.
Move.
Moved by Sutton,
Second.
seconded by Fishback. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
I had prepared that contract for the weed chemicals, and I put a note on it,
So the type signature,
signature.
I think we can sign it, but then we need a copy from them signed.
Well,
'Cause that's different than like an electronic signature.
that's what they sent as their signature. Here we go.
Is that what your guys' thoughts were? Can you have somebody just type in their signature on a contract?
I mean, anybody can type
Yeah.
a name in.
Should be a handwritten signature.
You mind contacting them or
So,
having Chris
send it
call
back?
Yeah, I think we need a signature.
Okay, I'll
Don't wanna
bring
start
that
down
back
that
next
road.
week.
Okay.
Lease for the expo building for horse races.
Move.
Moved by Hanson, seconded by Feldheim. Any questions on that? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
We're getting ready, preparing for the 2018 budget. Usually in my memo, I put the salary calculation, what the department heads should use, not that it's going to be approved or
Sure.
disapproved, but just some idea.
What's the space saver last time? Nickel? What did we do last time? We did a
You
quarter.
did a quarter.
We did a quarter, I
Did a
think.
quarter.
Yeah. Are we
Is
in
this
the time?
the year
of
we
the-
do percentage, or do we go back to, what did we do last year?
We went dollar last year.
I think
so we
it's
should do
percentage this year,
Should we just do 1% of the over?
Yeah.
I don't know.
1%?
as a holder.
1%?
That works.
That'd be easy to
We can't go
do.
down.
Okay, and I
Well,
I
that's
do
why we-
request
Once you put a number in
that
there.
they itemize, I mean, list their employees. I know this is a hassle for the sheriff and highway, but then if you do something different, it's so much easier than for us to tweak those numbers.
That's okay.
Okay. There was a grant application for weed and pest.
Okay, see that in the packet? It was with the state for...
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Hanson, seconded by Sutton. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Contract agreement for Jones Lawn Service.
Move.
Moved by Feldheim,
Second.
seconded by Fishback with gusto. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Tom, you're retired, you should go into the lawn service.
And that is all I have.
Gotta be-
All right, Gary?
Just one other quick item, I got a late request to fill part-time home detention officer position, due to the resignation a while back, and so there's no compensation or no severance payouts that are due, so, but it's just for a part-time home detention officer.
Move it. Second.
Moved by Hanson, seconded by Sutton. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Can I just call this the HR report,
Sure.
and it's be consistent? Okay. Can I have this?
Yep, you can have that.
Thanks.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. That's it.
That's it.
Anything from the commissioners in attendance? Anything from the folks here? All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move.
Moved by Feldheim,
Second.
second by Sutton. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We'll be adjourned till next week. Okay, so who would like to come at 9 AM tomorrow?